Welcome to another episode of Rooftop Perspectives. I am your host, LANCESCURV. It looks like it's going to rain any moment, but so many days now it's done that where it looks like it's going to rain and it hasn't rained. So I'm going to have to feel a few drops before I get up and snatch this camera and get up out of here. Today is still a beautiful day. I went to bed at sunrise. The sun got up a little bit. It was like around 7 o'clock. I took a picture I'm going to put up on Instagram. The sun was so beautiful this morning. Every day is a fresh new start for something good to happen. I never really stay stuck in the past. You use it to guide you, but it's not going to rule over my mind and mess up the present day. Today I wanted to speak about something that is epidemic amongst our youth and epidemic amongst us as a people and humankind and the human race. And that's anabolic steroids. Steroids. My main concern right now are the children, because I'm getting reports more and more that it's commonplace for children or youngsters in the 9th grade who are using heavy doses of steroids to develop themselves and grow their muscles. Steroids work, no doubt, but they work at the expense of your health long term. And the bottom line is that you don't do those things until you are a grown, well-developed man, and you're not supposed to really do it even then. But if you do it, let it be where you are developed. They're toxic. They're destructive. You pay the price for using them later in life and sometimes earlier in life, depending on how deep you indulged in them. But no child, no teenager, no one that young should be messing with anabolic steroids. You have enough testosterone in your system to develop a really great physique. I know I did. I never took steroids in my life, and I guess this is why at this age, even though I've been out of the gym since 1985, I'm still strong. I don't look like I used to, but I'm still damn strong. And not in a bodybuilding sense of the way, but overall, I can handle myself. So I'm glad that way. My cardio needs to get a little better, so if you last 3 rounds with me, you might whip me on points. But other than that, I'm satisfied with the fact that I walked away from that sport back in April of 1985 after my last competition, because it wasn't a temptation thing. It was just a thing where am I going with this when I'm competing against guys that have an unfair advantage over me? You understand? I knew a wider life and I was exposed to so much more at that particular time in my life. I love bodybuilding. I still follow it every day, but more and more the shift has been, it's more about chemical warfare more than anything else. Young men are worried about what dosages their hero or their superstar idol is taking, more so than learning how to eat properly, learning how to train properly, learning how to train on your natural body when you know what it is that you're doing. I just never understood that, because a lot of these guys have had lots of examples of people who have used and abused, which use is abuse, because to me it throws off the natural rhythm of the body. You're not going to whip nature. Your body is changing every day, and as you get older, what are you going to do? Take steroids when you're 80, 90? We're going to expire anyway, and you're cutting your life short. There's so many people that I've known that have liver damage, kidney damage, heart issues, all types of things that have taken them out early while they had a fabulous looking body. But like I said, steroids are an addiction. My concern are the children, are the youngsters who more and more at that insecure phase of their life feel they need a boost, feel they're not enough. And this is also now more so than ever the social media era, where you have Instagram, one of the biggest culprits. You have Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and all that good stuff, but Instagram, going to the gym, steroids, ego, insecurity is a recipe for disaster. And guess what? So many of our youngsters, I'm not putting them down, because no matter what era you grew up in, you had that time of insecurity where you said, hey, my arms are not big enough. I'm not muscular enough. You know, I'm too chubby. I'm too skinny. I need more weight. Not that everybody goes through that to the extreme, but we all go through a phase in our adolescence where we feel we don't measure up and we need to do more. Not realizing that to take a little time is the best thing. And what you get is what you keep. Now, if you stop training altogether, you're not going to keep the body that you had, but you'll have the strength, and most of all, you'll have the discipline and resolve to achieve in life, and that's transferable. Bodybuilding is a wonderful sport when done healthy. Going to the gym is a wonderful thing when done healthy, but the majority of guys who are doing bodybuilding, and the women that you see that are extremely muscular, they didn't get that way just from training. When you see a woman who's built like a man and the voice is deep and the clitoris has gotten longer, now you may not know that, but that's something that is you can't reverse that. It's reversible, right? But for what? A $50 trophy and a rush of ego satisfaction when people clap for you and you look good on that day, and if you don't continue training, you're not going to look the same way. People forget you. I walked around at one time in my life and traffic was stopped when I walked down the street, just on the sight of my body alone. But I know what that's like. So that has instilled a confidence, not because, oh, you have to look good to stop traffic. Who wants to do that? What does that add up to? But if you work hard and have the discipline always stays with you. Pushing in the gym, the discipline, watching what you eat, getting your sleep, riding your bike, running, practicing your posing, choreographing your posing routine. That was all stuff done by me over 40 years ago. And it's still with me. So it's valuable when I have my old gym buddies and guys I used to compete with, those who are left, because most of them are dead. Most of them are dead because they took steroids. And really, what is a steroid? Well, to make a long story short, steroids are a synthetic copy of testosterone, the male hormone, right? We have this naturally. Our testicles secrete X amount, some more, some less. We're all different. We have different variables. Some have genetics that would allow us to get more, some less. It's a whole lot of things with bodybuilding, right? But we secrete X amount of testosterone every single day, I believe more so in the morning time. So let's just make up numbers here to prove a point. If your body secretes, say, 5 milligrams, let's just say that, right? Don't know what it is naturally for everybody, but it secretes 5 milligrams of testosterone. And you take a steroid that is an extra 5 milligrams. Your body is always at a fight to level things off and keep things normalized. So your body will sense this, that you secrete 5 milligrams daily, usually in the morning, but now it senses another 5 milligrams, right? So now you have 10 milligrams in your system. Now your body doesn't normalize and balance it out overnight and shut down. So now you have this 10 milligrams in your body, 5 natural, 5 synthetic. But after a while, your body says, hey, I want to normalize. I can't control what this person's put it in on the synthetic level, but I can control what we secrete. So let's secrete 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. And by that time, the artificial steroid is not as effective. You're back to your natural levels. In a nutshell, not exactly. So you better come off of that. And then your body will seek to normalize and come back to 5 again. But you keep doing that on a rubber band effect and taking more. And you say, well, if I take 5 extra, well, 10 will be better. If I take 5 extra or 10 extra, 50 will be better. 100 will be better. 1,000 extra milligrams will be better. And lots of times, your body, I don't want to get too complicated with the receptors, the cell receptors, and bouncing back and stacking different steroids and oral steroids and injectable steroids. It's crazy once you go down that road. And what you see in the mirror may not be what really is. Many of the most insecure men and women when it comes to their bodies doing bodybuilding are people who look really good and they're on drugs, but the mind tells them they're not big enough, they're not developed enough. And that goes into a whole other psychological side effect of doing bodybuilding. You're psyched out half the time. You understand? You peak, you get your body in shape, you got different drugs to harden the muscles, you got different drugs to get ripped, you understand, to flush out the body fat, drugs for this, drugs for that, and then some people go off into the street drugs. They're on a diet, and they want to get lean, so they're eating less. It's like food and training is like secondary now. It's all chemical warfare. So you take this drug to suppress your appetite, or you begin to take insulin so you can take in more food and digest more food. But that's dangerous because you can die from taking too much insulin at the wrong time. Insulin, you're manipulating different factors in your body, and that doorway is just that little bit of anabolic steroids that you took as a 9th grader coming into the gym. And when you get into the gym, you hear other guys who are very impressive looking. You're not going to listen to the doctor. Your child is not going to listen to the doctor or listen to you because they want to look like that person who's got these huge arms, little waistline, no fat on them, the neck is big. I know many guys like that. And I was a junior version who was so much smaller. But I loved how my body was defined. I loved to know that my body was natural, and on top of that, I don't knock anybody who made the decision to do what they do. I'm not hating on anybody, but I knew that it wasn't for me. Because for me, it was learning how to eat, learning how to manipulate the food, the protein, the carbohydrates, the essential fats, the vitamins, the minerals, the micronutrients, the macronutrients, the water, the training, the time of training, getting your rest, getting the right cardio in. Learning the tricks of the trade with your body by experimenting with different things naturally. Certain foods and certain herbs. You do this, you will live a long time. A long, healthy time. I still benefit from I don't even look like that anymore. Nowhere near like that. But I still benefit internally for the training that I've done. And I'm getting back into training it again, but in a healthy way, which will reap me great benefits because your body has a memory, your muscle has a memory. And I never forgot the tricks. I lived normal, what they would call normal, for a long time, not worrying about the timing of my food, eating a certain way. If I wanted something that was considered bad, I'd eat it. But I'm not happy all the way living as a mediocre person. I want to get back into that. That's something that I enjoy, the process of. But there's no insecurity there. It's a science for me. But the children don't need to get into this. You're 14 and 15 years old. I've seen many examples of that. And when you see them when they're 25 years old, they're spent. Unless they continue to do this. And you can wreck your endocrine system. You can wreck the systems in your body to the point where your body doesn't produce any natural testosterone at all from an early age, depending on how heavy you use them. And guess what? Some men are stuck to using testosterone synthetically for the rest of their lives. And do you want that? You know, what if you can't get a hold of it? What's going to happen to you? Your drive and your aggression is gone, the natural. That's why when they talk about road rage, these guys who are on heavy amounts of steroids and they get angry so quick. They go over the top so quick. I couldn't do it. Me, with a little bit of dash of PTSD, and I'm already naturally aggressive, but people don't think so because I try to keep it down. I try to keep it and indulge my mind in activities, the stuff, that I do online, you know, the cerebral things that I think, trying to keep away from people that agitate me, trying to keep people away from my personal space where they're not delivering any agitation, just living a peaceful, quiet life. But when I get around mayhem and confusion and gossip and backstabbing and just insincere people, that drives me crazy. I don't need steroids. You know what I mean? I'm naturally aggressive and full of energy. I can wax people damn near 1/3 my age in the energy department when it comes to just, I don't mean running or jumping or anything like that, but just sustained aggression, focusing on things. That's always been my gift. So if you look to cultivate those things naturally and you're young, you got to understand you will have it when you're older. And it all depends on your genetics. We all have a predisposition and a propensity to lean toward this or lean toward that. There are guys who are naturally gifted where they develop easy and they don't use drugs. I've seen guys that don't use anabolic steroids in competition and they beat the guys who are using it. So it's no guarantee. Look how many countless millions are using this stuff, and not all of them are Mr. Olympia. They may get a little bloated on their arm, they may get a little heavy or whatever have you. Don't get caught up in that. Excel in life, maintain your sanity, stay away from all drugs, stay away from anything that is not natural for you. Learn how to eat, learn how powerful foods are and combining foods are. It's a whole science unto itself, and it has no side effects, none whatsoever. So if you want a long, healthy life, You need to stay away from those things. And parents, caretakers, we need to watch our youngsters doing this. And we need to let them know, even before going into the military. They're giving them out in the military like hotcakes. And many of our children, who at that point are young men and young women, come back so developed. And you're like, wait a second. But if they don't stay on that stuff, you see them go back to what they were. When you stop it, you always go back to what you were. You may keep a little bloat on the tissue, but the bottom line is that you're not going to walk around like that. And what's the limit? What's the limit now? And these guys are shooting stuff all day, taking orals, taking shots, eating all this big food, taking insulin. For what? For what? They mess their bodies up. So I'm pleading with you. I've seen enough horror stories. I personally know some big name bodybuilders that you might know or you might not know, because I come from a different era and I know them personally, and a lot of them cut their lives short. There's one or two that I know that beat the odds, and they're very blessed, and they're looking so young, but that's genetics, and they've been blessed with that. It's not always going to be that way with you, but parents, watch. If your children or youngsters get into bodybuilding, watch how they eat. Look at the supplements that they take. Listen, for the sake of peace of mind and saving a life, what you need to do is go through their stuff. You have to do this. You can't, oh no, well, I trust them. No, if they're going to the gym and around these kind of guys, don't trust them. They might be taking a little something and say, oh, it's harmless, but that's a doorway to other things. And if you catch them with it, you might not confront them directly as though you went through their stuff and violate them that way, but you know now to press them and be around them more where they cannot do what they do. And they're going to do it far away, but if you notice these changes and you're armed with this and you see that they're putting on lots of weight fast with no body fat, there's a lot of water retention, they're swollen, they they shoot up 20 and 30 and 40 and 50 pounds and get strong overnight. Something's wrong. It doesn't happen like that too fast. It's a miracle when you can put on 10 pounds of muscle in a year's time. That's less than 1 pound every month. That's a miracle if you can do that. But 30 and 40 pounds, no. They do that, they're on something. They're on something. And the other thing you have to worry about is not only the dirty needles, but where are they getting this stuff from? Is this pharmaceutical grade, or is this something made or processed in somebody's bathtub at home? Or whichever way they do it. And they're injecting this stuff into their body, and they can die immediately. They can get some type of kidney damage and liver damage immediately. For what? To walk around for a time? And it's very common. Not just where they get developed that big, but on a cosmetic level. Oh, good. I want to look good for the summertime. I want to look good for the beach. Or I have a wedding coming up, or I have something to go to, and I want to look good for the girls. Let me start a cycle. 8 to 12 months, because that's usually how a cycle is. Now we have guys that take steroids all year round, and they're wrecking their bodies because the body doesn't have a chance to recuperate and come back to normal. But normal's not good enough for them anymore. They're psychologically addicted to this thing. You can always stop. It's not going to kill you unless you're dependent on this stuff. But I just felt a need that I had to just touch on those things, and for parents to watch their children, because now our children are so vain. It's all about the photos. They want to look good for the girls want to look good for the guys, and they want to get on there and show what they got in that insecure period of their life. We're all going to be insecure about something, but the bottom line is, do it the right way. Good eating, good rest, studying up on how food works, and the proper training. A lot of these guys who are just popping the steroids don't even know the proper way to execute a bodybuilding exercise. You'd be surprised. They don't know, and whatever you do is going to make you grow and develop. But you're setting yourself up sometimes for injuries when you don't know how to execute the proper movement, and you're putting on this extra weight, and you're doing the movement wrong, and you wreck up your joints. And that can last the whole time. And I'm natural, and I've always been natural, but I have injuries that flare up every now and then. That when I get back into the gym, I have to tiptoe around and be careful because of my ego trying to keep up with these guys who are on substances. And boy, did I do so. I used to walk around and do full lunges with 315 pounds on my back. My legs are very strong. I mean, butt to the ground lunges where you're walking all the way down. That was one of my stronger movements. Other movements, but that was an ego thing. And there were guys who were on heavy drugs who couldn't even do that. You know what I mean? So we all have our little pet peeves and little things we were strong in. But if you need proof of that, I have a whole lot of people you can call and they'll tell you, I saw Lance do that at least once or twice a week during his leg workout. You know what I mean? So when I kick somebody, and I still got strong legs, they might be a lot skinnier than what they used to be, but just watch your children. And the women, watch them too. There are a lot of women who are taking male testosterone and it's worse on their bodies. There's that deep voice thing going on, man. And I've seen clitorises that were extremely long. I mean, and that's irreversible. Don't ask me how I saw them. I saw them, okay? It's really a crazy thing. Old school bodybuilding will last a long time, will age your life, will keep you mentally balanced. You won't be dependent on anything, and you'll have a pride and a confidence about you that whether you're in tip-top shape or not, or you get older like me, it's an unshakable confidence that you cannot rob from me because I have experienced some really great natural highs. I don't mean high, drug high, but natural highs from my indulgence in something that taught me that I don't have to be insecure. And I really wasn't ever insecure. I gotta really say that, you still look at people, you admire them, but I was, oh God, something's wrong with me, whatever. And that's why I can't be an insecure man as an adult, because I did things that wouldn't allow me to be insecure. I had parents that boosted my confidence, that taught me things, and they backed me up when I was training. They were so proud when I won the Nationals, the 1982 Teenage Mr. America, the natural version where they test your blood. And there were a lot of guys who were off their drugs that time. They still look good, but I beat them. So that's my little contribution to say I did something in that sport, and I'm happy with it. You know why? Because I'm alive, I'm well, and I'm looking forward for the best days of my life. And eventually, when we finish doing the projects that we're doing, being in the best physical shape of my life. That is still ahead of me. I've been doing light stuff. I feel good. So I'm looking to go up, not to go down. When it's time for you to go to the next level in transition, that's how you live a full life. Not just by doing bad things and ripping yourself up and being old. Say, yeah, man, I can run, I can jump. Nobody's going to try me unless it's about 5 or 10 people. Or the first 3, they're going to get it from me. You know what I mean? Maybe more. So I don't walk in fear. I walk confident, and I respect and give respect. You disrespect me, I would disrespect you. There's certain things that go along with knowing who you are and being strong in who you are. It helps to develop a strong personality. When you're cheating and using drugs, you can't look and say, you know what? I did this thing naturally, and I'm proud of it. You're just saying to yourself, I messed myself up. I shot my needle. You can't have that kind of pride. You can't. Teach your children to have the confidence and pride and stop trying to tear them down for those parents who tear them down. Putting them down, tearing them down, you're going to give them psychological issues as they get older. That's going to waste decades in their life as they get older. And I always get people who are insecure trying me. And I'm going to have to straighten them up because you can't tear me down. My parents built something on a firm foundation, and I learned the lessons and internalized them. Don't waste your time. Take your insecurities somewhere else, especially these insecure men. Anyway, salute to my brothers. Much love to my sisters. See, the rain didn't come down. Now, if I stayed there and said, oh, I'm not going to go up because it might rain, this is how it is in life. So many of us don't attempt to do anything in life because we're afraid of failing. But it's failing that teaches you how to win. I'm going to do a video when I turn 60 on April 8th, 1963, 2023, of me on my unicycle riding around like a young boy. I still got the sense of balance. I still love the physical challenge and doing things. Get up and dance. You walk. Play tag with your kids. Run. You're just sitting down. There's so many people who are sitting around, living a sedentary lifestyle, not doing anything, but they don't miss nothing online. They're right there on Telegram. They're right there on Instagram. They're right there making dummy pages to go peek on this one and peek on that one, not realizing this is a time to move and be free and challenge yourself. You see what I mean? I'm home. I'm retired. I got my little hustles on the side. I'm good. I'm not a millionaire, but you know what? I love life. I can get up and do what it is that I want to do and be free. And the main thing is that I don't put everything online that I do. Like I'm about to do something a little while. Certain things you do, certain things you don't. You have to keep your life to yourself and parts of it that nobody will ever know about, and be happy with that. Anyway, let me go. LANCESCURV out. On to the next one. Mwah. Thank you for your love and support. I will always share what I feel might be important. If there's anything that I run across that needs to be passed on. But be very careful of your young men, your young ladies who are getting into the bodybuilding gym and working out, and making sure. And before, when you first see them get into it, have a firm talk with them. And explain to them. And do some research. You can Google this thing, the dangers of anabolic steroids, especially on teenagers and young folks, or anybody. Unless you have an ailment that your doctor feels that you need to get over. You know, I know it works with HIV patients and some people that have had lupus, different types of things, whatever, different ailments that will keep you from wasting away, right? But when they discovered this thing in World War II, folks started to think, oh, I can do this and really build myself up. And they've manufactured drugs that can have a certain effect. And all these things that you combine, is really a bad thing. I'm talking too much. Let me get ready to go. I got a meal to eat and a good day to enjoy, whether it rains or not. LANCESCURV out. On to the next one. Like, share, and subscribe. And there's always more coming next with me. It never, ever stops. And those who thought you could crush me, how's it working out? I'm still here. Peace. Much love.
Lost my love. They gonna move to the groove. I my loaded. I lost my love. They gonna move to the groove. I my loaded. I lost my love. Lost my love. They gonna move to the groove. My loaded. I lost my love.